In today's video, we will let you guys see how can you spend fewer efforts and less time to get more points while doing listening for HSK Test 1. On our first part, let's see our structure. For listening and reading, we have 20 questions for each. In listening part, you have 12 minutes to complete all the questions. For reading, you have 20 minutes. Total time is around 40 minutes, and including answering time and writing names. I will explain. If you do the test on the machine, then while listening, you make your choice. But if you choose to have paper test, you have extra several minutes to move your answers from your draft paper to your answering paper. So this is the difference. But my suggestion is, as I said before, we'd better choose machine, or you can say electric test, instead of using paper test. Because if you choose paper test, you have to write down everything by yourself. That might be a bit too slow, and sometimes I know some of you guys have some problems remembering Chinese characters. So that's to say, e-test is always easier. If you have already purchased our courses, you can just download the bilingual subtitles for our audio. And if you haven't purchased yet, it's okay. You can always see our Patreon page. Whenever you have problems downloading the materials, just contact us. All right, so the structure, you will hear many sentences which are just nonsenses. Okay, so you need to skip these because these are useless. Instead, when you hear the nonsense, you have to read all the information and get ready for your coming questions. The following are useless sentences. Usually, at the beginning of each part, when the listening material is played, you will hear the first sentence. 第一部分，第一到五题 means part 1 from question 1 to 5. Second question is to let you know what kind of questions you are answering. Here we have 听短语，选择正确图片. You have to hear phrases and choose the corresponding pictures. Then they will let you know how many times the material is playing. Usually for HSK1, all the questions and conversations, they will be played twice. The last sentence is 例如, which means for example in Chinese. Then they will play one conversation or some short sentences to let you see their speed. And when you hear the question numbers, it means the listening starts now. So if you heard 例如, it means for example, it's not useful. But when you hear the question numbers, it means it started already. So always see the pictures or choices first. As I said, at the beginning of each part, you will hear examples. These will not be used for your coming questions. So just skip that and read the information first so that you can have some brief idea about the keywords. Make sure you can understand the keywords given here. And of course, you can check the answers later on. And some of you might ask, what if I don't understand anything? No worries. Later on, we will be explaining this to you. The first part is to pick a picture after listening. There are 5 questions, and each of them will be played twice. As I said before, the first sentence will always be the example. So just ignore that one. Let's see this example.
第一部分，第1到5题，听短语， 选择正确图片。每题听2次。例如
3个苹果。
3个苹果。
The audio said 3 apples. So the key word is apple. And C is the final choice. In HSK1, as long as you can understand actions, things, or people, and what they are doing, or some adjectives for description, even if you missed something or you cannot understand the whole sentence, you don't have to worry too much because the keywords as well as the questions are very straightforward. So just hear them and make your choice. Even if you don't understand, it's okay. You have A, B, C, 3 choices. And if you just guess, you still have about 1/3 possibility to get the correct answer. So actually for part 1, you just need to listen carefully. Whenever you hear some keywords, then match the keywords from the pictures. In the second part, we need to pick the correct answers from given choices after hearing the questions. Again, 5 questions. Each will be played twice.
第2部分，第6到10题。听问题，选择正确回答。每题听2次。例如
今天天气怎么样？
今天天气怎么样？
First question is the example. You don't have to hear that. And in this example, it's asking you, how is the weather today? So, as long as you know 天气 is weather in Chinese, you will know after this, we need to choose something to describe. If you forget how to say weather in Chinese, but you still remember 怎么样, it means how about, to ask your opinions or to ask for your suggestions or to ask for your description. That's why description we can only choose from B and C. 很好听 means it sounds nice. 非常热 means very hot. Let's suppose you didn't understand weather and you forget how to say how about or what do you think of in Chinese, but you heard 今天. Today, usually we will not say sounds nice. We will just say very hot to describe today's weather. So C is the final answer. You can see that for listening during our HSK1 test, even if you didn't understand the whole sentence, as long as you can partially understand the sentence, you can still pick the correct answer. You just need to know how to analyze. So first, you analyze the possibility, and then you remove all the impossible answers. Usually, you can have 1 or 2 answers left. In part 3, we need to pick a picture after hearing the conversation. 5 questions, each will be played twice. The first one is the example, and you have to remember, each choice can be used once only, including the example.
第3部分，第11到15题。听对话，选择最匹配的图片。每题听2次。例如
你好。
你好，很高兴认识你。
你好。
你好，很高兴认识你。
In this part, because the example is asking you meeting each other at the first time, because it said 很高兴认识你, this sentence means It was very nice to meet you. So two people meeting each other at the same time, and picture C is the correct answer. Because each choice could be used once only, that's why C cannot be picked again. So for the rest of the conversations, we have to pick from picture A, B, D, E, F, because C is already used. So in this part, though we will hear longer sentences because we will be playing conversations instead of just a phrase or one sentence. In this part, we can only use each of the choices once. So even if sometimes you didn't see the correct answer, or you missed something, or you didn't understand the conversation, you can just leave blank if you don't know. Then after answering the rest of the questions, if there is only one answer left, then you put the answer to the blank. Then you get all of these correct, because each can be used once only. Last part is part 4. So one thing or one sentence at the beginning, then the second sentence will be a question. Choose the correct one out of 3 after the conversation or after the questions. The second sentence is usually the question. Here we have 5 questions also. Each question will be played twice. Ignore the first example.
第4部分，第16到20题，听句子和问题，选择正确答案。每题听2次。例如，
下午我去超市，我想买一些水果。
说话人下午去哪里？
下午我去超市，我想买一些水果。
说话人下午去哪里？
And here we have to choose where would the speaker go. So you see, 下午我去超市，我想买一些水果。In the afternoon, I go to the supermarket. I would like to buy some fruit. And the question is, where would the speaker go in the afternoon? The correct answer is A. It's very direct because that person already said he would like to go to the supermarket in the afternoon. So you heard supermarket, then you pick the correct answer. You will see keywords usually appeared in our conversation already. So no matter how much you understood the sentence, as long as you can catch the keyword, then you should get the correct answer. Here we have 2 new phrases for you. One is speaker. In Chinese, we say 说话人. Another person is listener. We say 听话人. So sometimes you will see in our old test, usually they will ask you, what will the lady do? Or what did the man do? They will use lady and man. But this is our new listening materials because it's Chinese new test. And 说话人,听话人 are speaker and the listener. So sometimes these 2 will appear in our conversations or questions. You need to remember these 2. When you hear now, the listening test is over. Do not wait for the sentence. As long as you have heard all the questions and all the conversations played from the audio, then you just need to finish answering all your questions. So no matter what kind of things you heard, it's over, or some stupid music, whatever. Anyway, you have to move on. So finish your answers first and then move on to your reading part. That's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's content and good luck with your HSK test. For the next lesson, we will see how to practice reading skills.